We'll be starting in just a few moments. We got like one more minute. All right, let's get into it. Welcome, welcome, welcome to today's webinar. Our coaching session is going to be on what is your motivation? What is it? As we move into this new season, many of you know the time has changed. Obviously, some of you have probably experienced the weight of the time change. All right. But as we move into this new season, it is important that we pause and reconnect with the reason that you started this journey in the first place. Motivation is the spark, but understanding your deeper why is what keeps the fire burning. So today we're going to explore what truly motivates you, how to identify your deeper why, how to stay connected to your why when things get hard, and how to use it to fuel long-term results. Because here's the truth. Motivation is what gets you started, right? But purpose and discipline is what keeps you going. So before we dive in, for those of you who are new, I want to tell you a little bit about me. I am a certified weight loss specialist, health, fitness, and nutrition coach. I'm a military veteran, a military veteran, and a nationally qualified bodybuilding competitor. But enough about me. The most important thing is that I am here to guide and support you and help you build sustainable habits that actually last. So if you're here watching this video, or even if you came back to watch it on replay, I have a treat for you today. Before we dive in, I want to see if there's anyone. Well, we're going to do icebreaker first. So we're going to warm things up a bit. Here is, we got somebody coming on. All right, so let me ask y'all. Hold on a second. Let me make sure we get everybody in. Joining. So we're going to start with the icebreaker. Mama Francis, are you in an area where you can talk? Or are you just listening today?
I'm driving. I can talk. I can
Okay.
respond a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I just want to know, why did you start your health and fitness journey? Was it to get...
Well,
Oh, go ahead. I'm listening.
I've always had a interest in keeping myself fit,
Mm-hmm.
and so when I saw an opportunity to do Team Sassy Fit, uh, you were my motivation. So I
Yay.
you know I joined in. Let me give this a try. Because, I've done different things over the years. I've done like Weight Watchers, and
Mm-hmm.
I've done another one. And but the thing about it is, getting a long lasting effect. Uh, I want it, want it to last the duration of my life. Really, I want to be able to manage my fitness.
Right. You wanted something more sustainable, basically.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, that makes sense. What about you, Isaiah? Welcome in. Welcome into the class. Um, why
Hello.
why did you start your health and fitness journey?
Well, I have had the goal of eating muscle and um, you know, become naturally small, and
Man,
I
you breaking
wanted
up
to get
so
bigger.
bad.
So that's the main thing. And I have not just made with it. I had since to um
You
start up
might
some
have to you might
stuff.
have to
So
type
I
in the
know I need
chat
that.
because can you hear me, Isaiah?
Okay, I
Yeah,
can
you
hear you.
you might have to type in the chat because you breaking up real bad. You sound like AEIOU on the
Hey, yeah, you know what? Why is it?
it sound like you I. That's all I'm hearing.
Okay,
So
let me do that.
I really want to be able to know what you're trying to express. So you might have to type what you're saying in the chat, and then
Mm,
I can read it for our listeners and
okay.
watchers. Cause AEIOU, I can't make that out. Sorry. So I'm gonna go ahead and mute you, and um, you can just type what you were saying, and then once you put it in the chat, I'll read it. Sound good? All right. So I'm gonna get back um what we were talking about, and then I'll come back to your answer. But I love the fact that you guys know like off rip what your motivation was. I'm gonna tell you what my motivation was. A lot like Mama Francis, I always wanted to look good, feel good. And I know the only way to look good and feel good is to take care of yourself. And I don't like feeling out of shape. You know what I'm saying? And I remember when I signed up to join the military years ago, 2008. That was almost 20 years. Wait a second. Almost 20 years ago. Wow. But almost 20 years ago when I signed up to join the military, and um they told us we had to do PT tests. And me being me, I don't like being unprepared for anything. So I always was an athlete in school. It was always fun, a great stress reliever, and it felt good to be good at sports. But when it was time to join the military, I was like, I need to make sure I can run without being gassed because I'm not trying to get there and be embarrassed, right? So I started running in the neighborhood, and I was able to run, but my legs was itching so bad. I was like, oh, this is not, this is not good. So I kept going back because I was like, I know if the itching stops, that means I'm getting in shape. That was my mindset back then because I wasn't educated in like fitness and nutrition back then. And then just paying attention to what I eat, not eating a bunch of junk. I didn't really understand the balance at the time, but just knowing like it's not good to eat a bunch of fried food because it'll you can gain weight from that. And then um just staying active because I didn't like to feel out of shape, right? And so that was my motivator to working out and staying fit because I knew in order to look good, it was a certain look that I wanted. I always wanted to look healthy. I also wanted to look fit. So with that, I did what I needed to do to obtain that. And then being in the military, I wanted to pass my PT test and not be struggling every time we had to take it every year. And so as I started to do that and stay in shape and everything, I always been a very disciplined person though, but once I started learning more about health, fitness, nutrition, I wanted to share it. And I was like, I can't keep all these goods to myself. And so, because I like to help others, that's where I got started with. And then people would like see how I look and be like, "Are you a trainer?" And I'm like, "No, I just work out." And so I was like, "Well, let me figure out how I can help other people be healthy as well." And that's how I got started with coaching. And I truly enjoy it. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I do get frustrated sometimes when you have clients that don't want to comply, but they complain about their results, and you're like, well, I'm giving you the keys to the kingdom, and you're not necessarily doing it. But at the end of the day, the bigger picture is the fact that I'm able to help someone, even if they don't get the results that I know that they can get. As long as they get results and they are happy with those results, then I feel like I've served my purpose. Because I have to remember too that my goal for the client may not be their goal. They might just want to learn, they want to lose weight, they want to be better in better shape. I'm always going to make sure my clients are educated. So that's my why, and that's what keeps me going in the midst of the frustration. Now, I say the frustration because I know on your health and fitness journey, you get frustrated, right? There are times when you get frustrated when you say, okay, why am I doing this? I'm never going to get to my goal because you're obsessing over a stinking number on the scale. You're not paying attention to your clothes. You're not paying attention to how you feel. You're just obsessing over that scale number, and that scale number will mess you up. You got to understand the scale is a digital calibrated system that you step on, and it does not factor in the fact that you might have gained muscle and that you're recompositioning your body. So, and it's very common in women. They will starve themselves to the end of days trying to lose a number on the scale, not realizing that it's just water weight essentially. And then the minute they start eating like normal again, they start to gain the weight back, and then they're frustrated, like, I can't lose weight. Well, it's not about losing weight, it's about the body fat. That's what you're trying to lose. So, understanding your why is very important. Okay, motivation is emotional energy. I'm going to say that one more time. Motivation is emotional energy. So, a lot of your motivation comes from how you feel. It comes from your emotions. If you're tired, if you're upset, you might not feel motivated to work out because it's based off of a feeling. But surface level motivation sounds like this. I want to lose weight. I want to tone up. I want to be healthier. That's a goal. Your why goes a little bit deeper than just a goal. Are y'all tracking? This making sense to y'all? Your goal goes deeper. I'm sorry, your why goes deeper than just a goal. So what you should ask yourself is this. Why do I want to lose the weight? Is it because I got some labs done and I saw some alarming numbers that I need to fix? Is it because when I look in the mirror, I'm not happy with what I see? Is it because when I go clothes shopping, I'm frustrated because the clothes don't look good on me, but they look good on the mannequin? I can't find anything that fits my body type? Why does that matter to me? What will change my life if I were to succeed and lose this weight? Will my cholesterol levels go down? Will my blood pressure numbers go down? Will my blood sugar go down? Will I get my insulin in check? My insulin levels in check? And who is going to benefit when I show up for myself? Those are the type of questions you should be asking yourself, because your why, again, goes deeper than just a goal. Anybody can set goals. People set mindless goals every day with no steps towards actually achieving them. If you have a sugar addiction and you need to rid yourself of that addiction, why do you want to rid yourself of that addiction? Is it because it's causing you to gain weight? Is it because it's making your labs look out of whack? Is it because it's making you sick? Those are the type of questions we should be asking ourselves more than just the surface of, I want this goal, right? Maybe it's confidence. Maybe it's longevity. I've heard time and time again, I want to be able to play around with my kids and my grandkids. Mama Francis says all the time, I want to be able to move the older I get. In order to, but in order to continue to move the older you get, you have to actually move. And Isaiah posted his statement saying that his motivation was mainly the fact that he wanted to gain muscle mass and weight because he's naturally a small person and he didn't like that. And he knew he needed accountability because he would start and stop and start and stop. And was just struggling with consistency, which is something that he's still working on, but he feels that he's gotten better. His nutrition, his lab results, and track and field has intrigued him, so he knew that he needs to get back when he feels unmotivated. And I just want to touch on this. I'm naturally small and I don't like that. I'm naturally small too, and I love it. I don't think you should dislike what God has given you. God gave you the genetics of a small frame person. That's who you are. All you need to do is to eat in a healthy way to make yourself look stronger or whatever your goal is. But disliking the fact that you're naturally small, I think we need to work more on the self-love aspect of that. There are some people who have genetics where they're a little bit on the thicker side or the plus size, but you can still be healthy, you can still work out, you can still build muscle and be a healthy version of what God made you to be. But there is a fine line of being unhealthily overweight, meaning you starve yourself, you don't eat all these things, or unhealthily overweight, where you binge, you overeat, and you on all the wrong things, and you gain all this unnecessary fat, which cause your health to fail. Does that make sense? So, looking at what your goals are as far as wanting to gain muscle mass and wanting to build some consistency. Hey, Miss Kathy.
Hi. Sorry I was so late.
It's okay. You're here. That's all that matters. But yes, making sure that you have that consistency is a good goal because you know that you lack consistency. And that's a lot of people. Some people need that motivation where they get that extra accountability. We have people older than you who need accountability. They know what they need. They know what they need to do. They just don't have the willpower to do it unless somebody gets in their face and say, "Hey, didn't you say this was your goal? Why are you not doing it?" Right? So, since Miss Kathy just joined, I want to ask Miss Kathy, why did you start your health and fitness journey?
Because I wanted to get healthier and get in better shape.
Yep. And so, based off of what we've been talking about, that is a goal. But your why is deeper. And today we're talking about your why. So, if your goal is to lose weight and get healthy, ask yourself why. Why do you want to lose weight and get healthy? Why does that matter to you? Is it because you're struggling, your labs don't look how you want them to look? Is it because you can't move around like you would like to? What will that goal, how will that goal change your life if you were to succeed? And who will benefit from that goal when you show up for yourself? That's where the why goes deeper. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
So maybe it's confidence, longevity, being present with your kids, breaking generational habits. That was my why. Not only did I want to look good and feel good, because that's a surface level goal, of course, but my family, high blood pressure runs in my family, um, diabetes runs in my family, um, and just unhealthy eating habits run in my family. right? And with that, just observing the portions that some family members eat when they fix their plate, um, the amount of sweets that that grab, and you know the overweights, things that happen over time because of the unhealthy eating. I didn't want to be that. And I know that when you get older, you are going to gain some weight because that's just a part of life. But you can manage it in a way where you're not obese because you've developed unhealthy habits. And I don't want to have high blood pressure. I don't want to have high cholesterol. I don't want to have diabetes if I can help it. If my labs are not the way they need to be, I'm asking questions. I'm figuring out, okay, what do I need to do to make this change? Thankfully, my labs are good. If something is deficient, I take my supplement and I make sure I eat foods that are high in that particular deficiency so that I'm good. It's all about being intentional, because being present for my kids, now that they're older kids, now they're not kids anymore, but still I want to be present for them, and I want to be able to break generational habits and teach them better habits of eating. And also, are you trying to prove something to yourself? Right? So your why is your compass. I've had several people come to me, even you, Miss Kathy and Miss and Mama Francis, have come to me and said how family members have seen how you eat and they become intrigued. And they're like, they start asking questions like, why are you eating it this way, or why you not eating that? You know, they become curious, especially when they see that you're starting to make improvement in either your weight loss or any physical abilities that you were struggling with before that you are better at now. They're like, okay, what are you doing? Right? So your why is your compass. So when motivation fades, which is that emotion that we were talking about, when that fades, and it will, because that's just life, you get excited for a time, or you get a bout of inspiration from whatever. Maybe you see a post, or you see somebody like, man, I want to look like that. I'm finna go start working out hard. And then the motivation don't last, especially if you're someone who struggles with consistency. So when motivation fades, and it will, your why is what is going to keep you aligned. Remembering the deep-rooted reason why you started your journey to begin with. The surface goal may be I want to lose weight, but what else is it? Dig deeper. Is this making sense? Type 1 in the chat if this is making sense to you. All right, looks like I'm doing a pretty good job. So now we're going to get into motivation versus discipline. Here's something important. Motivation can be very inconsistent. Some days you'll feel unstoppable. Other days, you won't want to do anything. Whatever that reason is, it's normal. And that's why we build structure, habit, routine, and accountability. Because your why fuels that discipline. After a while, you won't even crave those things that you once used to grab for instantaneously anymore. Because you'll be like, I don't need that. Right? So discipline is going to sustain the results. Remember when I was talking about my military service and how I didn't like to be out of shape and how I like to be prepared for everything? I built discipline in myself for those reasons. I have my own set of whys. You know, things get difficult for me as well. I lack motivation as well. But my discipline is what keeps me going, because I know good and dang on well I would not be happy with myself if I woke up and looked in the mirror and was like, who is that person? Absolutely not. So I do what I need to do to continue to keep myself in shape. I don't expect to be 115 pounds like I was in high school. People be looking at me like, well, everything all right, sis? 115 pounds? No. But the version in the life that where I'm at right now in my 40s, the healthy version of 40-year-old Chiquita. Makes sense? So let's connect your why and your discipline to your motivation daily. So now that we understand your why, how can we connect to it, or how can we stay connected to it? I'm so glad y'all asked. I don't know what to do. I'm going to give y'all a few strategies. What you're going to do is you're going to write it down and put it somewhere visible, whether it's on your mirror, your fridge, your journal, your phone background. I have my vision board on my phone background. Y'all remember when I used to do vision board parties? I still do my vision board even though I don't do the parties anymore, and I have it on my phone so I could see it every single day. And so far, I'm proud of myself because I'm hitting them. I'm hitting them. So whatever you have to do, write it down and put it somewhere visible. If you work on a computer, put a sticky note on your computer. Make it specific. Instead of saying, I want to be healthier, try something like, I want to feel confident in my clothes again. Or, I want to lower my blood pressure. I want to lower my cholesterol. Or, I want to walk into a room without shrinking myself because I have more confidence in myself. So revisit it weekly and check in during your, if you're a client of mine, during your Sunday check-ins, or if you're in the group, you can post it on the discussion board and write, are my actions aligned with my why? Remember the magnet analogy? I wish I had one on my right here to show you. But remember the magnet analogy? I use it all the time. A magnet will not connect if it's not on the right side, right? You put a magnet together, it's going to click. But if you put an opposing magnet, it don't matter how much you try to put that magnet together, it's going to be going against each other, not sticking, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
because if you relay that back to your goals and your actions, think of it as a magnet. If your goals and your actions are not aligned, it don't matter how much you try to make that thing work. It's not going to work. It's going to be going left, upside down, and all around. Your actions have to align with what you said you want to accomplish. Otherwise, what's the point? What's the point of making a goal? What's the point of having a why around that goal if the steps you take to reach it don't even align? That's like me saying I want to be a singer, but I'm going to school to be an attorney and doing everything attorneys do. That's not aligning with being a singer, is it? Absolutely not. But if you say you want to be a singer and you're going to courses, you're doing vocal lessons, you're going to your training sessions and things like that, that's what you would do to align with that particular goal. But if you say I want to lose weight and you're not drinking water, you're not going for walks, and you eat sweets every day, how are you going to lose weight? It's not going to happen. Also, if you want to lose weight and you're eating ginormous portions, or better yet, you're starving yourself all day. You may have coffee or tea in the morning and don't drink nothing else because you're doing for everybody else but yourself. And then late at night, you're so starving, you eating any and everything that come in your face. That's not the recipe to weight loss. Starving yourself is not the recipe to weight loss. Binge eating is not the recipe to weight loss. Sitting down doing absolutely nothing is not the recipe to weight loss. So if you truly want to reach your goals, ask yourself and be honest with yourself. That's the thing that a lot of people struggle with, is the honesty aspect of reflections. If you look in the mirror and you ask yourself honestly, am I doing what I need to do? Are my actions aligned with the goals that I set for myself? And the answer is no. You need to be strong enough to say, okay, I'm not doing what I need to do. What do I need to do next? Or be okay with where you are. Because there's no point in saying what you want to accomplish if your actions don't align. Talking about it is pointless. Act like you don't have a voice and move about in a manner that's going to showcase that you mean what you say. Because if you didn't have a voice and you couldn't say what you wanted to do and you had to prove it, how would you do? How would you do? People say a lot of things that carry absolutely no weight. So make sure the things that you are spitting out of your mouth, you actually intend to do, otherwise keep it. Because it's pointless to say something that sounds good just because it sounds good. And a lot of people do that. A lot. More people than not do that. Oh, I need to do this. I know I need to do this. I'm going to do this. Never do it. Never even make one step towards accomplishing that thing. And then they stay stuck with a million excuses surrounding why they never even took that step. You cannot allow your excuses to be the reason why you don't accomplish your goals. One of these days, you got to let those excuses go and you got to set, okay, this is what I said I want to do, and it might be hard. I might be stressed out, but this is what I want to accomplish. And remember, nothing worth having is going to come easy to you. The big, famous, wonderful book says, faith without works is dead. What's the point of having faith if you ain't going to move your feet to accomplish anything? You can sit here and wish, well, I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. If you don't move your feet, you're not losing weight. Is this making sense? So visualize your outcome. Be honest. Close your eyes for 30 seconds. Let's practice. Close your eyes for 30 seconds and imagine what success looks like. Keeping your eyes closed. How do you feel when you achieve that success? How do you move? How do you show up? Now open your eyes. Were you able to envision that? Yeah. So make sure that you envision the outcome, because emotion strengthens your commitment. Sounds good? So this is a group reflection exercise I want to do with you guys. So we're going to take about 2 to 3 minutes to do this. I'm going to put the question in the chat and you can respond in the chat. But the question is, I am committed to health because of what? Don't overthink it. The first thing that comes to your mind, put it in the chat. If you're unable to write it, feel free to share it out loud.
Oops. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I'm locked into safe driving mode, even though I've gotten home, so I can't see you, and I guess you can't see me. It's your
It's
video
okay.
is stopped, but I'm still here. But would you repeat that question again? I don't see chat.
Oh, you can't see it? It says,
No.
I am committed to my health because blank.
Okay.
Miss Kathy said, because I want to live. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you mind expounding on the I want to live, what you mean by that?
I want to live a good long life. I don't want to be sick all the time. I have certain illnesses and what they call those comorbidities.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a struggle for me. And my weight and things like that affects that. It affects how fast it progresses. and things like that. So I want to try to do better because I'm not ready for a wheelchair or anything like that.
That's good. That's good. And that is a deep why. That is a deep why. So just hold on to that and stay grounded in that. And I promise you, you will not be in a wheelchair because you're determined not to be. And I'm
Mhm.
claiming that you're not gonna be, right? And you just gotta know that you can do whatever it takes to get there. You were saying something, Mama Francis? I thought I saw you saying something. Um, Isaiah said, I am committed to my health because I want to prevent diseases and feel good as much as possible. That's good. Can you expound on why that is?
I'm sorry, you talking to me?
Yeah, I was asking if you I
Oh,
thought you were saying something. Did
yeah,
you?
I was, but it went off. Oh, wait a minute. I share uh, her thought pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I want to live a long, healthy life. Some people live a long life, but it's not a healthy life. There, in the doctors, some people's schedules are made up of doctors' visits. They
Mm-hmm.
can't tell you, they can't promise you're gonna come and have lunch with you. And well, let me check my doctor's, and that's if you got to do it, you got to do it. But I would prefer spending my time in the gym than a doctor's office.
Right.
So, oftentimes the choice is yours. It's not always everybody doesn't. Everybody's different. But I share her feelings that when you have an issue that I do. They diagnosed me with osteoporosis, so I do what I can. I can't take the drugs. At Boniva, Fosamax, Evista, I don't, and I know they got new ones on there, but I just prefer I couldn't because they were more crippling to me.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I felt like, and I know exercise and beefing up your calcium supposed to help you with that. So that's what I've been doing
Right.
since I found out I know I can't take the drugs.
Right. And sometimes not taking the drugs is more beneficial, like you said. If you just like I was saying before, like if you just take the supplements and move or eat the food that has those things in it, improve your diet, that might do better than you because a lot of those medications can be harmful or cause other things to go out of whack. And I'm the same way with medication. Like I will do everything I possibly can to not have to take medication because I don't like being bound by it, but I also understand that sometimes you just have to take whatever you need to take. But if there's a way around it, I would much rather find that way. And Isaiah said, he said he knows that our family suffers from hypertension, diabetes and cholesterol, and he's witnessed things people have gone through due to their health, and he don't want that for himself. Good. Yep. I know somebody who had a stroke at, I don't know if it was before they turned 30 or at 30 because they didn't eat healthy and was living basically a reckless lifestyle as far as like what they consume and things. And their first response to me was, it's not because of what I ate, Nicole. And I'm like, I'm not judging you. Like the fact that you feel the need to defend yourself, I didn't say anything. But that just showed that they knew that it was their lifestyle that contributed because why else would you be in your early 30s having a stroke? 9 times out of 10, when you have a stroke at that young age, it's something that you're doing, a medication potentially, your eating habits. You know, they had high blood pressure at the age of 21. So things like that can be avoided if you eat better. And they ate a lot of fried food, hot dogs, stuff like that. A lot of processed foods. And it doesn't matter how young you are, it's a lot of young people collapsing these days. Have y'all noticed that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heart attacks and
Heart
everything.
attacks and everything. It is no respecter of a number of how old you are. It is how you take care of yourself. And a lot of these young people don't eat right. They eat a bunch of junk, and that's why I stay on my kids. I will not allow it. Not while you're in my house. Nope. What you do when you're not here, but when you're here, we're not eating all of that garbage. No. So, yep. Told you what? The same thing. But I appreciate you all for sharing so candidly what your reflections are about your health. Now that we've identified your motivation, let's talk about how to navigate the journey, because knowing your why is powerful, but pairing it with action is transformative, and that's what you want, right? So here's your foundation, and I say this, I think, every single week. Track your food. Know what you're putting in your body, right? Track your food. Aim to hit your calorie and protein goals, because if you hit your protein goals, 9 times out of 10 you're going to hit your calorie goal. And if you hit your calorie goal, that means you're not under eating, right? Also, drink your water. If you don't have a cup that you carry around, you are wrong. I'm going to say it every single time. Every single time. If you don't have one of these, you are wrong. Because how can you hydrate in the midst of it all, in the middle of whatever? You're not going to remember to carry 50 million bottles. You're not. And with this, you can stop to a gas station, throw some ice in there and refill it. Like, what? I take these on every trip I go on, because the one thing I know to be true, it don't matter where you go. You can put some ice and water in this cup. Even if they make me pour it out in the airport, I don't care. I'm gonna pour it out and I'm gonna go right to the thing when I get checked in and put some more ice and water in there, because I'm gonna have my water. And you should be aiming to drink half your body weight in ounces, not to exceed 1 gallon, because I don't want y'all feeling like you gotta drink the ocean. And too much water is not good as either. You don't want to drink too much water, right? And move intentionally daily for 45 to 60 minutes, even if it's just a walk. I went for a walk today. I felt wonderful. The weather was great. The scenery was great. I listened to my story while I was walking. I was in a good headspace. Get moving. 45 to 60 minutes. And it doesn't even have to be done all at once. I like to do 45-minute walks, but I know I'm going to walk for 15 minutes after dinner. So I just did 30 minutes. Felt great because I knew I had to get to work and I was hungry. And I know I'm going to walk 15 more minutes later on this evening. So I did 30 minutes. And you can break it up 15, 15, 15. Whatever you got to do, but get moving. Don't sit down all day. All right? Also, train with some resistance 3 to 5 times per week. Even if it's a resistance band and you just doing this, you need to train with some resistance for 3 to 5, at least 3 days a week. And focus on restful sleep. A lot of us struggle with that. But at our age and older, sleep is important. If you're waking up tired, you're not rested. Also, remember, your journey will not be perfect. It's going to be a roller coaster ride. I've been in this thing for years. Years upon years upon years. And there has not been anything straight and narrow about this journey. But I stay in it because I know the benefits of this journey. And I would rather choose my heart in the sense of continuing in this journey than choosing my heart and, like Mama Francis say, being in the hospital all the time. I don't want my calendar filled up with doctor's appointments. If I can do something about it, I'd rather be outside walking or in somebody's gym or doing something. So just know the journey's not going to be perfect. You're going to have days where you low on energy. You're going to have busy weeks. You're going to have missed workouts. And you're going to have meals that are off plan. That's a part of life. That does not mean that you failed. Because guess what? Just like when you learned how to ride a bicycle as a kid and you fell off and you got up and got back on that bike, you can do the same thing in your fitness journey. The same thing in your health journey. Right? And that means that you're human, not that you failed. So instead of asking yourself, why can't I stay motivated? Ask yourself, what does my future self need from me today? How many times do y'all hear me say, take it one day at a time? One meal at a time. One workout at a time. How many times y'all hear me say that? Anybody hear me say that?
Mm-hmm.
I say it all the time. Because if you jump too far ahead, you're going to defeat yourself before you even get there. Focus on the time you have today. Tomorrow is not promised and yesterday is gone. Focus on what you have today and work with that. Tomorrow is a new day, clean slate. Work with that. But don't focus on tomorrow because it ain't here yet. Okay? And just remember that small, consistent actions are far greater than emotional bursts of motivation. Keep showing up. When I show up, it's not always perfect. I talked about how sometimes your perfect is, or your showing up is not going to be 100%. Showing up might be 10% today, but guess what? I showed up. I got moving. It's not the most energetic workout, but I did something. Right? That's how you got to think about it. We have this mindset of quick, fast, and in a hurry, and social media makes it worse. We want instantaneous results, and there is no such thing as instantaneous results. Everyone who has ever achieved anything took time. It did not happen overnight. It took time, but a lot of times they are behind the scenes doing the grunt work when nobody's watching, and then when they show up in the public eye and they've accomplished this thing, people are like, oh wow, how did that happen so fast? No, babes, I was behind the scenes grinding and you didn't see my grunt work. All you saw was the end result. You don't see the blood, sweat, and tears behind the scenes of what people do to accomplish what they accomplish. And you can't expect it to happen overnight. There is no such thing as an overnight success. People use that term all the time. Overnight successes take 20 years to happen. And that's not overnight at all. Right? So think about that. And let's open up. What resonated most for you today?
The whys.
The whys? What about the whys?
Having to think about it. Like you said, not just having the goals, but why.
Why? Mm-hmm.
That you need to remember why you're doing this.
Yeah. That's good.
Oh.
I know Isaiah said that he was told that people are collapsing because of their poor health choices, so to be sure to choose wisely. Yep. Absolutely.
Doing what you do with purpose. Purpose. You got a purpose why you do what you do.
Right. Yep. Did anything from today shift how you view motivation based compared to what you thought of it before?
Not being too hard on yourself. You're going to have some ups and some downs, but if you fall down, you get back up again and go with it.
Yes. Absolutely. Y'all hear me all right? Isaiah said
Yeah.
he can't hear me. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And did you uncover a deeper reason behind your goals today compared to before?
Not really. Mm.
So I guess I'm doing a pretty good job with the consistency of making sure you ground yourself in that why. So, um, y'all know we gonna have some homework. So the homework for okay, the homework for today is going to be simple but powerful. So what I want you to do first, and of course y'all know this is going to be posted in the chat, but write down your why. Put it somewhere visible. I mentioned it earlier. Make it clear. Make it specific to you. And then create a motivation anchor. Choose one. Phone reminder with your why. Journal reflection once per week with your why. Vision board update. Or a 60-second visualization each morning. Something that you can see. And then the weekly reflection prompt is going to be to take one action you're going to complete the sentence. One action that I took this week that aligned me with my why was this. So this is going to take a little bit of time. You might not get it done today because I really want you to, think about your answers, be intentional about what you choose before you share it. Okay? So, in closing, I want to remind you guys that motivation starts the journey. Purpose directs the journey. And discipline sustains the journey. I'm going to say that one more time for the people in the back. Motivation starts the journey. Purpose directs the journey. And discipline sustains the journey. So when you choose your why, you're going to move differently. And you're going to show up differently. Your goals are possible, but you have to make sure that your actions are aligning with those goals. And you have to make sure that your goals have clarity and commitment. Make sense? So this is my favorite part. Choose one word in the chat. Drop one word in the chat that describes how you feel when you stay connected to your why. And if you're watching this back, put it in the chat. I would love to see where your answers are. One word. Because I do check the chat, y'all. One word that describes how you want to feel when you stay connected to your why. Let me see what y'all come up with. All right, Isaiah said he feel confident. Okay. You want to feel encouraged? Okay. So are you saying you don't feel encouraged yet? Since you say you want to feel encouraged?
You said that one word to say how we want to feel when we.
Oh, okay. Encouraged. I got you. Okay. And Mama Francis, what about you? What's one word to describe how you feel when you stay connected to your why.
I'm sorry. Happy.
Happy. Okay, I love it. Well,
Mhm.
I, as always, appreciate you all for being here, and for investing in yourself. Those who are here live with me and those who watch it later. And thank you for trusting the process. And I look forward to seeing you next week for another webinar where we will discuss nutrition for fat loss without starving yourself. So
Okay.
that's going to be a good one, and I look forward to seeing y'all. But until next time, Chiquita Nicole, Sassy Fit is out. Ta-ta for now.
Bye.
Bye.